forget to take my makeup off. But hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Shakira. If you're not subscribed, smash that subscribe button and let's get right into this video. Okay, so I'm just coming today to talk about this Empire Beauty School. I super duper totally regret even attending the school because I got terminated today. Or so says the director, I got terminated. I want to get into depth about the catalog and everything that they have in place and everything. And possibly the reasons why. And he think that I didn't record our conversation. Yes, I did, sir. I recorded our whole conversation. You never said anything about terminating me. And because I didn't leave at the point in time that you wanted me to leave, you've decided you wanted to call police. Okay. Let's get right into it. Do y'all like my makeup? Okay. So I'm going to start reading some of the guidelines that our director went over in school. He spoke about tardiness. I understand that my tardiness was crazy, but it's because I have medical problems and he's a male, so I don't really want to disclose to him what medical problems I was going through. And yeah, I did bring doctor's notes. One of them was for my knee. I spoke to him about that, but it was other doctor's notes that I could provide saying that I wasn't in school for such and such a reason. I felt like I was wrongfully terminated today. I was written up, I believe 2 weeks ago on a Friday, which Friday we have student exchange, and I was doing a student's nails, but it came to my attention that it's a new rule, or is a rule that I actually am not seeing in this school catalog, that freshmen aren't allowed to do senior, like, work on seniors, and vice versa. Seniors aren't allowed to do work on freshmen, which I don't even believe should be a rule because we're in beauty school. Why shouldn't we be able to have the advanced kids work on freshmen and freshmen work on the advanced kids? But I was written up for that. For somewhat, they said that I stole hours. Like, I basically was stealing hours from the school. But I was in school for 7 hours, but I was only clocked for 2 hours and 2.50. It was like 2.5 or whatever. I was in school all day, but I didn't collect the hours. So you basically wrote me up and the write-up was false. So I didn't sign that write-up that was actually given to me. I did not sign it because I believe that it was wrong. No, I did not steal hours because I wasn't on the clock when you said I was on the clock. When you look back at the time, I did not collect 7 hours that day. I'm sorry, I only collected 2 hours. So what extra hours did I still miss? I was in the classroom for the hours that I was clocked in. When I left the classroom, I made sure that I clocked out, you understand? But I was doing nails or whatever the case might be. Today, today's November 7th, Wednesday, 2018. I got another write-up today for doing another student's nails, but I wasn't on the clock. Yeah, it might be in the rule that students aren't allowed to work on students without an educator present, but the student I was working on, we asked her educator, and her educator said yes, we can do the nails where we were sitting at, which is on the floor. If you've never been to Empire's, like, you have separate classrooms for the students, and then like when you get to the floor you can work on real clients. So I was written up for that today to say that I shouldn't have been on the floor, and we had the meeting and everything, and I was just like, okay, I'm not supposed to do it. So he told me my two options are, and I will insert our conversation. He said my two options are, I can either transfer, which if I transfer to another Empire school, all the rules will still apply. It's not that I don't want the rules, it's that you guys don't treat us you guys treat us like we're in high school instead of treating us like we're grown adults about to go into the real world and be people, nail stylists, hairstylists, all of that. So they wrote me up for that, and he told me that yeah, I should go home. So I started to pack all my belongings. I packed all my belongings, and I'm trying to like fidget everything so they could fit in the bag, because when you go to Empire you have a cosmetology kit and it's a lot of stuff. So I'm packing up all my stuff because I had my nail kit, I had all my hair stuff, my stand, and a couple extra bags, and it was just a lot on me. So I'm packing up my stuff. I'm sitting there, I'm packing up my stuff. Next thing I know, I believe it's the 62nd precinct. The 62nd precinct came in and they had to escort me out of the building because they said that I was trespassing. I don't understand how I'm trespassing, and I am a student. You never said that you terminated me. Not nowhere in our conversation did you say that you terminated me from Empire Beauty School. And I thought that once you get terminated, you're supposed to sign dismissal forms. Also, I don't believe that our conversation said that I've met my 450 mark. I would think I was at 483. I was scheduled 483, but I only went 320, I believe. And I never got any warning. So it's just like, it just seems like I just got terminated to get terminated. Like, I really feel like I was being bullied. And my teacher, my educator, obviously I recorded her in all my other videos, in my past videos on this channel. She basically is the one that keeps writing me up, and she's right. Like, I don't believe that the write-ups should be written up because they just don't make sense. How you gonna write me up for hours being stolen, and there was no hours stolen because I was clocked out. No time was being collected. And then she when I was doing nails today, and she came and I told her, she said, "Shakira, you're not supposed to be doing nails." But I'm like, but I'm not clocked in. And the educator said that it was okay. So she was like, okay, went into the classroom. 5-10 minutes later, she went to our director, spoke to our director. The director came to me and said, "Can we speak to you about your attendance?" So my warning was the same day as my termination. How can you give me a warning? How am I supposed to fix from my warning same day? 5 seconds later, it's not going to change like that. So he told me to go home. I have two options, and I told him I can't think of what I want to do right at that moment because it was just too much on my brain. So he told me to go home and think about it. So I was on my way to go home, packing my stuff, and police pulled up, and now that I can't even go back to the building. And now that I want my printout of my write-ups and the reason for my termination, he's now telling me that I can't have it, that it will be mailed to my apartment. So when it will be mailed, I will then call the Board of Education. I'm not trying to make a bad name for Empire. I'm just trying to make sure that, this is not done to other students, because I feel like this director in particular has really bullied a lot of students. Like, it's like a ghetto word, being really shady. Like, when he wants to say something, he doesn't directly say it to one student. He makes sure that it's said across the board. But I was doing a student's nails. Now, I was doing a advanced student's nails, and now it's become a rule now that advanced students aren't allowed to do freshman nails, or freshmen aren't allowed to work on seniors. Everything was videotaped on a live. I don't have the live, but I will insert our conversation, definitely. And I will have to take this up to the board. And I don't think that I should have been dismissed. Well, in the catalog, it says that your grades and your attendance should be, there. My grade point average in the school is 85%, which is on this grading scale a B. So I'm ranking a B, but yeah, my attendance is off because I have medical problems. I'm under a type of medication that is assumed to be a controlled substance, too strong of a drug to take in school, and I notified him about that. Also, I had the knee problem, and they were saying that I had to stand up for 7 hours a day. I told them I cannot do that. So I made sure I went to my knee surgeon, and I spoke to him, and I made him write a note stating that I cannot stand up for more than an hour. I would have to alternate sitting and standing, sitting and standing. So we did that. But it just seems like they seem like they're not getting anywhere with me, and I seem like I'm not getting anywhere with them. I spoke to them about, if I tell you that I'm not in the mood to talk, and there's a lot of students in the school that don't even speak at all. It'd be some days, if you have watched my videos, I'm very an exciting person. I like to have fun, bring a lot of energy in the classroom when it's kind of dull. He doesn't want to understand that, so I tell my teacher that when I'm not in the mood, I let you know that I'm not in the mood. But she just brushes it across her head. Then she even heard me say that I'm not in the mood, and she just keeps on coming and bothering me. Everybody have their life outside of school, and they're not trying to understand that. They think that they're preparing me for the business world. They're really treating us like we're children. Like, we just jumped out of high school. Half of the students that attend Empire Beauty School at the Empire I go to are grown women and grown men. Like, it should be no reason why you're treating us like kids. But here's some grounds for dismissal or suspension. The school reserves the right to dismiss, suspend a student for any reason, including but not limited to the following. Oh, forgot to tell you guys, there has been a lot of stealing at this Empire Beauty School. And when we bring it to their attention, they are not even like really doing anything about it. When it comes down to, example, my Tiffany, my mannequin got stolen. I do have another one, but they was trying to make me pay for another one. It wasn't my fault that it got stolen. My mannequin was in the dryer, and someone, student or staff, I don't know, went and took my mannequin, took it home, whatever, and it had my name across the neck, and somebody still took it. But are not limited to provided fraudulent information or documentation of requirements for admission or attendance. Never did that. Failure to attend classes regularly. I have my reasons, my medical purposes, and then on top of that, if I notified you that I am under medication and you're telling me that, oh, thank you for letting me know, you can't be under that type of medication in school because drugs and alcohol aren't allowed in the school building. Thank you very much. Refusal to complete assignments, classes, or student-client clinic work. I do all my classwork, which is why my grade point average in our school is at 85. I make sure I do all classwork, practical, written, multiple choice, it don't matter. Refusal to complete, I did that one. Breach of school rules and regulations. Not to really talk down about our old directors, but not a lot of rules were in place. He's now putting some of the rules that we didn't know in place. And okay, yeah, you are reading the catalog and doing your job, but if we weren't like adjusted to that, and then you want to just throw it on top of us, we have to adapt. But you want me to adapt in 5 seconds? Felicitating of school records, cheating, hazing, theft, conduct or conditions that pose a direct adverse threat, including bullying, failure to make required cash payments, intentional destruction of school property, destruction of other students or staff members' property, physical violence and threats of violence can mean immediate dismissal, suspension without previous warning. I've never done any of that, but I just wanted to read partial reasons for grounds for dismissal. I've gotten the write-up from before. He wanted me to sign it. I didn't sign it because I didn't believe that the write-up should have been written in the first place because I didn't do anything. I want to find that date that happened, but I have to wait till I get the actual write-up because the write-up has the date of when it happened. Today is November 7th. I got another write-up. I want to process that write-up to what it says in this catalog so I know, like, he didn't even really explain my the write-up today. Oh, you got a write-up for doing nails on a student and the educator. Did you ask the educator that was on the floor if she gave you permission? Because she actually passed us like 3-4 times and watched us do nails. We asked for permission and we got the permission and we was doing the nails. What is the problem? So yeah, this video is just gonna be recorded. I'm gonna have it recorded down, so it'll be basic. This will be basically my part of the story, and then he'll have his part. And then if anything, if he really wants to lie on top of lying to the police officers, because he told the police officers that he terminated me, but he did not terminate me, because in our conversation that I recorded, that I have on my phone right now, he said, "What do you want to do?" I said I wanted to transfer. He said, "Okay, do you need help finding a new school?" I said no. You feel me? I told him no. So he said, "Oh, so what are your choices?" He's like, "I'm gonna have to make a decision for you today or whatever." So I'm like, "Okay, I can't think of that right now." He's like, "Okay, go home, think about it, and let me know." Nothing out his mouth ever said, "Shakira, you are terminated, you are dismissed." Nothing. But this is when he wanted to tell the police officers and tell them, "Oh yeah, she's dismissed, so she's trespassing." Even if I was dismissed, I didn't sign any paper saying that, okay, yeah, I approve that I'm gonna be terminated. You didn't say, "Oh, you're fired." This is not a job. It's school, and I'm paying for it. You're not paying for it. You feel me? But I'm not trying to be rude, disrespectful in any type of way, shape, or form. I just want to get my point across. I will be calling Empire Corporate to make sure that rules and regulations that were set into place are, there, and that I'm not falsely terminated. Thank you very much.
They're holding my office, so we're going to go back here.
Pockets of cold, pockets of warm. Hi.
Everywhere in the school is like that.
It's
like some areas are warm, some areas are cold. All right, so you haven't been here, and it's come to the attention that you haven't been in school. Technically, you have 66% attendance. Any particular reason why you're not in school?
Medical purposes.
Okay. What's happened is that on paper, we actually that when NACIS or BPSS, when they look at what, and also your financial aid, when they look at your attendance, what they say is, are you even interested due to your attendance? So do you know what the attendance is supposed to be at?
75. I know where I'm supposed to be. I don't know why I keep calling these meetings.
Okay.
You know why? Because really, you're coming up on the fee. They're going to run it at 450. So the conversation with everyone should be, if there's stuff going on where you're going to hit, your scheduled hours is 400. I don't know. I'm blind.
Your scheduled hours is 483. Technically, you're supposed to have an SAP at 450.
Oh, so she did. So someone called you to sign something at 450 that you're in warning?
No.
Okay.
I didn't do 400. I did 320 something.
Right.
But your
scheduled
hours
is at 483. So that means at 450 scheduled hours, you have to have this conversation.
Yeah. So if someone had it with you before, then that was right, because that means you're in warning. So at the rate that you're trending, you're going to be terminated based on your attendance. That's the first part. That's why the conversations are, because if we didn't have the conversations, you'd be surprised if you're terminated. You'd be upset.
Actually, no, because I look at my EAPS every day. I know what my hours is. I know what I have to do. I don't know why y'all keep calling these people.
Okay. So the first part is that. The second part is, are you on the clock today?
No, I clocked out because she came out the classroom and I knew she was going to say something, and she wrote me up the last time, and I wasn't clocked, and I didn't even get those hours, and they wrote me up for no reason, so I'm not going to have no write up for a reason now. That's why I ain't signed that paper the last time.
Do you know our policy?
Nope.
Empire's policy?
That what?
So, if you're not clocked in, then like this, can anyone from outside come into Empire and start doing a service on anyone?
You can't be in school not clocked in a classroom. The licenses won't cover that. It's basically if my little sister decided to walk in and just start doing someone's nails. So it's you cannot be in the building as a student if you're not clocked in a classroom. And if you are clocked in, you need to be under a roster. So if you know, then you're intentionally not following policy. So you're saying, F it, I'm just going to do what I want to do. And that can't happen. I can't just go into anybody's job and do whatever the hell I want to do. So it's, why? You're not happy here. You don't like it here? I mean, I don't, you're not even responding. Like if I talk to anyone, if my boss talked to me or anyone, a coworker talked to me and I don't even respond, it's like you don't want to be here. Which is fine if you don't want to be here. We can help you find another school if you'd like to go to another school. But if you want to stay in this school, you have to go by policy, which you're not doing. I don't know you. You look the part. You look like you could be a great stylist. You look like you are into it. Physically, like you, aesthetically, you look like, yes, this is your thing. But in school right now, you don't seem like you want to be here. And
is that
it
true?
shows that you don't want to be here because your attendance isn't.
Is that true, that you don't want to be here?
No.
Do you want to transfer to another school?
I just don't want to be bothered. I know what I have to do. Y'all just.
But you're not doing it. So if you know what you have
Okay,
to do,
miss.
you're not doing it.
So this is the deal, because yes, your educator, Miss Elvis, actually did have another form for you. Basically, that you're clocked out, you're doing nail services, you're not supposed to be on the floor doing nail services without supervision, and that is your educator. Did you talk to your educator about being on the salon floor doing nails?
No.
Okay, so per our last conversation, if you didn't do what was supposed to have been done in terms of following the policy, technically you're supposed to be terminated from the program. However, I think that you have an opportunity with Empire.
No, because that last write-up shouldn't have been a write-up because I didn't collect hours on school time.
Yeah, but you're going against the policy. You're talking about two different arguments.
No, you're talking about I should be terminated this time because of the last report. That report shouldn't have been written because it was false.
I'm not saying because of the last report. I'm saying because of our policy, including the last report.
Which should be excluded, so you can't count that.
Then I can count this one.
That's still one report.
Yeah. So what I see in you is that you have the ability to grow as a stylist. So what I would say, if it was me,
that's the thing. I'm not trying to be a stylist. I'm just trying to be a nail technician. She trying to have me do hair all day. I'm not trying to do it for me.
So do you want help finding a nail school?
I already called Empire. They said this is the only place in New York.
No, I mean like outside of Empire. Because I can try to help you find a nail technician school.
So
and we can get you
in the
there.
state of New York, how many hours do you need to be a nail tech? For something? Aren't there nail schools that just for you to just get? Okay, because we can tell you the process of
how to get there.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to not have you live out your dreams. And in Empire, because there's so many policies that you basically are going up against, I'd rather have you happy at a school where you studying what you love than to be in a school that is causing you to be out of policy. Do you want help with that? Okay, so technically right now in this moment, there's two choices that you need to make. One, either you can drop and take your hours and find a school that can give you that, or two, you can be terminated from the program for going against policy. Which one would you rather have?
You could transfer them.
Okay, so a transfer in Empire will still be Empire policy. Are you saying you want to transfer outside of Empire?
I don't know right now.
Okay. I would suggest that you go home and you think about it to find out what it is that you want to do. In this moment, I have to actually make a decision for you. So I would say go home, think about what you want to do, let me know, contact me, I'll come find a school for you, and I can talk to the educators or either the executive director in any school to try to see if we can work out something for you. But as in terms of any Empire school, the policies are the same no matter what state you go to. And I would hate for you to have a record following you everywhere you go. My thing is, if it was me, I probably would just drop voluntarily and take whatever hours I have and transfer to a different school.
The attendance issue, the reason that we asked what's going on is because even if you didn't have write-ups, your attendance alone, the conversation should be like, maybe you should take a break and withdraw from the program and come back when you can have better attendance, because what's going to happen is you're going to lose your financial aid, you're going to owe a lot of money, you're going to be dropped later on in the program, you're going to be dropped now. So you obviously are not happy here, you don't like the policies.
So, do you want to go home and think about it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, why don't you do that, pack your things,
and I'm gonna see you in my next one when I come to you with another video. Don't forget to stay strong and calm, and don't forget to laugh.